As announced in the papers in this forum, I'm supposed to resolve once and for all, kuno, the issue of authenticity and the use of the terms Sinug and Sinulog in referring to the observance of centuries-old tradition of prayer dancing. The confusion that the two terms brought about came only after Casa Gordo started the ritual performance of the dance in its garden. Then, 2006. Yeah, a few years back. But I don't like the phrase once and for all. It terrifies me. There is nothing final until one dies. Am I taken from it? For a living language is itself a continuous process of reinvention, of preserving what works for us, as well as modifying what it refers to. The categories linguistic terms cover may well change over time. Some are discarded, some are revived, some are newly discovered. At the center of this issue, which media has called confusing, is the idea of ambivalence. Ambivalence is defined as the simultaneous existence of two conflicting feelings about a person, object, or idea. Life itself is full of tension, and sometimes circumstances force one to choose between two persons, two objects, or two ideas. At the same time, it is possible for opposites to coexist without violence. You can see that ability to reconcile and accept opposites, which is a product of imagination and genius, as well as history, as a Cebuano trait. This has become a Cebuano tradition that gives us identity and pride of place. The tradition rests on faith in God, a God that came to us through the Spanish colonization. Notwithstanding criticism of the increasingly commercialistic and touristic Mardi Gras every third Sunday of January, we appreciate the Sinulog as expressing Cebuano faith and culture through the religious procession and the grand parade. Both faith and culture being both procession and parade. Dictionaries that I have consulted for my own dictionary of Visayan arts have no entries on the term Sinug, only Sinulog, as referring to the dance. Professor Jose Lazar Versales, see here, Jose, has called attention to a photograph in a book by Felix Laureano, Recuerdos de Filipinas, that is reprinted in a 2001 translation of the same book. That photograph, which shows two men in what looks like a fencing exhibition, is labeled in the 2001 book as Sinulog, or Moro-Moro. However, the original photograph may have been labeled only as Moro-Moro. The term Sinulog was probably taken by the translator Feliz Noel Rodriguez as a synonym for Moro-Moro. Why? Because outside of Cebu, Sinulog refers to a war dance. Here, the Moro-Moro, a play where Christians win over the Moros, is called what? Binambay. I doubt if the photograph was taken in Cebu at all. As I said, the term Sinulog has been used elsewhere to describe a war dance, not the prayer dance we know today. An entry on Sinulog in a Waray dictionary refers to a folk dance that is not described, while another book on Philippine dances and games by Aquino and Ramos, published 1927, refers to Sinulog only as ceremonial dance. From a Filipino dictionary by John Kaufman, published 1935, we read, war dance with very swift movements. I couldn't find any Cebuano dictionary earlier than the 20th century that includes Sinulog, however. One book on music and dance by Francisca Aquino, published 1948, notes the Sinulog movement as, what? A forward leaping movement of either the left or right foot, while the hind or rear foot slightly flexed as the front foot lands on the floor simultaneously amid slight forward bending of the body. Well, this leaping is also how Nangkitang Jola describes the Pinampilan steps, or Sinug, in contrast to the more simplified 2 steps backward and 1 step forward that are now followed in the grand parade. The performance of the Jola troupe, if you have seen it, Casa Gordo, years, or at YouTube, you can see that, is more a mime of war between Christian and Muslim, rather than the gentle feminine swaying of the tinderas of the basilica or cathedral, which is a natural style. The term Sinug as the authentic prayer dance is claimed by Jose Dodong Buyas in an article he wrote in 2007 entitled Sinug, Dili Sinulog. This article recalls his childhood experiences together with his brother, now Congressman Eddie Yes. Both of them, he said, were acolytes during the war, and they witnessed the Santo Niño's help in protecting the church from harm. The author also recalls many stories about the Santo Niño told them by their grandmother, Lola Andrea. You know, Andrea na. According to him, the Sinug is the traditional ritual. What is the one of each world? Mao kini ang subuan ng pamaagi pagpasalamat ni Senyor Santo Niño sa mga pabor o maayong pantawad sa pamilya o pagpangayog taba gikan kaniya. Kung nagsinug, magunit o kandila, kunya itindan-tindang ang hawak niya mo abante o kausa o niya atras o kaduha dungan ang pagpatbat sa pagkasalamat, pag-ampo o pagdayeg. Idagan ang katuigan, naghihimo ang sayok na sayaw, bitbit ang imahe ni Senyor Santo Niño sa ilang mga kamot o katuragas na alisan ini kataas o kaubos sa wala na gusto o ipatuyok-tuyok ang tumangan sa Cebu Metropolitan Cathedral. Si Senyor Santo Niño, dili anayan dito sa mga kamot apan ibutang sa altar aron adto kini makatubang kaniya paghalad sa atong Sinug. Ano person na? The excerpt I just read corroborates the description by Espirita Gangiola of the Santo Niño image during the Sinug ritual as an object of reverence placed on the altar before which the dancers pray. Both Buyas and Amtita criticize the parade practice of holding up the image of the Santo Niño during the whole dance. As choreographer Mike Gonzalez said, kay mali pong sa bitaw ng bata na silip tuyok. However, Buyas' article departs in the description of the dance steps, which is the tindera style used by the parade. 2 steps backward, 1 step forward, and not the kinangkilan of Namtita's Sinug. So our question on authenticity remains unanswered so far. Or this early we can conclude that there are two forms of the Cebuano prayer dance. The feminine or Sinulog form danced by the tinderas using the simpler steps, and the masculine or Sinug form danced by the viola troupe with its more complicated steps that include a bit of jumping and turning. The masculine Sinug is more probably the earlier form.